Okay, hi everyone. Thanks, Suren. Thanks, everybody. Thank you again for keeping safe and then joining us for tonight's session. Like Suren mentioned just now, tonight what I'm going to do, I'm just going to share my experience with MCM and what GIS is all about and how actually MCM has helped me to be part of what the title mentioned today. Now everyone can invest globally. Now, I'll go to the next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah, so before I proceed, I would like to thank these few people who have given their confidence in me to bring up this topic today, especially none other than Mr. Professor Max. Max has been a very good friend. He has been visiting us here in Kota Kinabalu, Sabah, and he has been very instrumental that we are involved, and also we also get the very best of what MCM has to offer. Before I proceed, I would like also to thank these few people who actually very helpful when I first started in MCM. None other than Mr. Wilson Kaur, and also a very helpful person, another mentor of mine, Mr. Sylvester Chi. If you see here in this slide, you can see that actually Professor Max is none other than Mr. Kofi Annan. Mr. Kofi Annan. So you must know that Mr. Max himself is a very important person, and actually he's quite well known in the industry. In fact, he has brought MCM not only in Malaysia but all over the world. So then again, thank you again, Max, for allowing me to share my experience, my wonderful journey here in MCM. Next slide, please. So I started out actually when I saw this particular slide. This was done some time ago, I think around a couple of years ago. When you read here through, it says that 70% who withdrew EPF at age 55 spent all within a decade. So within 10 years, whatever they have, spent all within a decade. More worrying are cases where retirees withdrew 70% of their saving and spent all the money in less than 30 days. Okay? So other than that, when you see here, more than 2/3 of EPF members age 54 had less than 50,000 in EPF savings. Then with the household poverty line income at 930 monthly, 50,000 saving is only like 4 to 5 years away. The bottom fifth of EPF members have average saving of only less than 7,000. So this is quite worrying. When I saw these messages, this critical information, I was also looking at myself. I find myself not very far from this reality. And then when you look at it here, according to EPF, 70% of members who withdraw their funds at age 55 use up their saving less than a decade after retiring. So therefore not enough to stay out of poverty after retirement. Next slide, please. So when we look at this information, that information was given to us a couple of years ago. But how has things changed? Actually, things haven't changed. Things actually gone for the worse. When you look at this particular slide, it says challenges with retirement saving in a pandemic. Now we're in a pandemic. Here in Sabah, things are not, I'm not seeing things are getting better for now. And it's quite worrying. So the government has tried to help, and definitely they have introduced to us a Prihatin stimulus. And from this scheme, we were allowed to withdraw within 50 to 500 monthly from account 2. Okay, from account 2. And in addition to that, the employer actually allowed to reduce their contribution from 11% to 7%. So when you're looking at the earlier information, already money not enough. So with all this information coming in, with all these things happening, do you think we're going to have more savings by the time we are retiring? So these are the things that today we are facing, and then we have to find a way. And with that, in fact, some time ago when I first joined MCM, these things was looked upon as, well, it's the reality, but then again, it will not go much further than that. But today, when you look at it, nobody actually expected the pandemic to happen. And these are the things, and it's not going to look very positively on our retirement saving at the end of the day. So next slide, please. So when we look at the next slide, then what we realize here actually is being reported, not only that we are having problem with our EPF saving towards the end of the day, it's actually at the end of the day, we also have a problem with our financial literacy. We are talking about saving, but then again, how do we actually help ourselves? Because now we have our EPF being compromised. Now, how do we help ourselves? Unfortunately, it's been reported by the STAR. It's very important to strengthen our financial literacy. However, the bad news is, the not so good news, I put it, the not so good news here is Malaysian actually are quite low in their financial literacy. Out of 3 Malaysians are not comfortable with their financial knowledge, while half of the population say they have difficulty raising even 1,000 for this emergency. So by looking at this, these are the realities of today. In fact, today I was quite busy, helping out because these were the things people around me were facing today. And I realized that I'm very fortunate that I have met with MCM, that I have been introduced to some form of a plan B to help me out, so that at the end of the day, I am likely better off in terms of knowledge, in literacy, and also in terms of preparing myself for retirement. So next slide, please. So at the end of the day, so when you talk about investment, so what's the best investment? Today, maybe you're like me. When I first started with MCM, I don't have much. And I was thinking, like, so far I've gone into so much things, so much business and things like that, but why am I always stuck to back to square one? So at the end of the day, I realized at the end of the day, all the things that happen to us is because our knowledge. At the end of the day, if you have proper knowledge, have the proper guidance and things like that, definitely you would have made the better choices. So it is not far to say that investment in knowledge at the end of the day is pay the best interest. So this is where we are at MCM. At the end, today, what I'm trying to do here is to introduce you partly what MCM is all about and what GIC has to offer to you. So why at the end, initially I came to do all this is because I look at it that a lot of people need help. Not only me, my family, my relatives, my next generation. And we are looking, seeking high and low, and especially like for me, looking at books, reading books and things like that to look for guidance, what we shall be doing in our finance and also in our savings. But needless to say that a lot of all this information doesn't prepare you and doesn't put what you have learned into action. So the best knowledge is also knowledge that you can put into action. And that's what I found that when I'm with MCM. So next slide, please. Okay. As a matter of information, we all know that Bill Gates today actually worth 112 billion USD year 2020. When we look at it, what actually makes him so rich today? We always think that at the end of the day, because he started Microsoft and things like that. But actually, he became very, very rich the last 22 years. When you read here, 5 billion, he given 5 billion. He started with 5 billion. And today, actually, his worth have gone and his the value of his investment, his fortune has grown to around 80 billion. 80 billion within a span of 22 years. So we look at it. Is it because of Microsoft? Is it because of Microsoft, or is there something else to it? So when you look at here, then we realize that majority of his asset is held by another company. It's a company, it's a Cascade Investment LLC, an entity controlled by Gates and managed actually by a person named Mr. Larsen. And what do they do? Actually, when you look at this, actually they have diversified his 5 billion. And today we can see that that is where all his returns have come back to him many folds, almost like 16 to 20 times many folds. And it's not because of Microsoft. It's all because he has diversified his fund and put into something which is called private equity. So today we learn two things. At the end of the day, saving is not enough. We need to have also financial literacy, and we need to learn about investment. In savings, there's no way we are going to get 20, 30 times what we put initial capital. But this is where it comes, investment is all about. So this is Bill Gates. Today, he became very, very rich because he had put some of his funds into what you call investment fund, into private equity. So let's go further. Let's see the next slide. So other than Bill Gates, who else actually benefited from this private equity thing? So when we look at the World Bank, the previous president is Mr. Jim Yong Kim. Mr. Jim Yong Kim actually, when you look at it here, he joined a private equity firm after a shock resignation. This was way in 2019. What did he join? He joined a private equity fund. He joined a private equity fund, which is called Global Infrastructure Partner, as a partner and vice chairman as soon as he resigned. So this is again, you know, another example of people knowing what finance is all about, people knowing where actually investment can give you multiple and 100-folds, none other than private equity. And we also have the current, other than him, is the current Federal Reserve of the United States, which is Mr. Jerome Powell. If you look at Mr. Jerome Powell, he actually, you look at this, his net worth before becoming the Federal Reserve is already 55 million. And he took office and he worked for a salary of only $1 a year. So we look at it, he said, why is he so charitable? Why is it he has the ability to actually don't even take a salary? Then we look at it, before he became the Federal Reserve, he was already a managing partner of the Global Environment Fund, another private equity and venture capital firm that invests in sustainable energy. So we see Bill Gates, we see also Mr. Jim Yong, and also we see also Mr. Powell, all actually go into private equity. So next slide, please. So we must be wondering. So we know that actually our EPF money is dwindling. It's reducing. But at the same time also, our employer also have reduced their contribution to our EPF. So what do we have? What do we have out there to help us out? How do we counter this reduction? So none other than, like right now, we are saying one of the choices that we have is definitely to find a way how we could be able to cover the losses. But to cover the losses, doing on our own, we will have to realize that there's so much things to learn, and do we have the financial strength? Do we have the right team to actually go about doing all this? So tonight, I'm very happy to share with you. These were the things, these were the questions that I was asking myself. And I was very fortunate some time ago when Max came to Kota Kinabalu, came to me and informed me about what his company, MCM, is doing to help people like me who's looking for the light at the end of the tunnel. And I very much appreciate what has been doing all this while. And also I can see myself after joining him, I've been helping a lot of other people who are in the same boat with me, but with his guidance and with the community. As in GIC, I see that not only that I learn about savings, I learn also about investment, and I also have the opportunity to be involved in some of these private equity and some of these startups that has helped me, at least during this pandemic, to have some form of cash flow and some of confidence that as long as I have this investment, I do not have to worry. I do not have to worry about food on the table. I do not have to worry about my loans and things like that. So tonight, okay, I'm going to share with you briefly what I know and what I've experienced on what MCM has to offer. If you look at here, MCM here wants to be a reliable global project management consultant. So it also wants to turn, you know, the vision of not only its vision is to be a reliable global project management consultant, its mission is also to turn everyone like you and me, a normal person, people who are on the street, people who have not much knowledge, in actually in investment and also private equity, but to be allowed also to take the opportunity to invest, and not just locally but also globally, and then makes this dream becomes a reality. So some of the values that we see in MCM includes maximize efficiency and effectiveness, which is always on course on doing things right, besides doing the right things. Yeah, that is to do things efficiently and effectively. You will find that along your involvement with MCM, like just like for me in GIC, I find that they put a lot of effort trying to do better things, trying to do things easily and more focused, that we are all involved, and also we understand the risk and also the investment that we are going into. Other than that, it also has the value of continuous improvement, ongoing improvement. Likewise, knowledge, finance, family, time, businesses, in order to satisfy all of it. And it also have the values of mutuality, which is to reciprocate, so that to preserve and beget trust and integrity. So this is very important. You actually, at the end of the day, just like me, when we go into any investment, we're not looking at ROI at the end of the day. We want to have ROI, but also to have actually a promise that at the end of the day, we are going to get a return from it. And actually, there is a lot of things which is done transparent. And we know that at the end of the day, this is going to be a winning investment, not only for us, but also for the company, and it's going to be long term. So these are the vision, mission, and values that have attracted me to MCM. Next slide, please. So a little bit on the milestone on MCM. MCM actually founded in 2012, and it received the Excellence Investment Trust Award in 2014, another award on Youth Nation Building in 2015, Midas Touch in 2015, and then launched the Global Investment Community in 2016. We are lucky, actually. Professor Max decided that not only him and a small group of people going to benefit from his venture into the private equity, into all the startups, but also he decided that it must come in a group of people whereby more people are involved, more people can become successful as his group of investors, and also like him. So it didn't take long. In a matter of 1 year, GIC has more than 1,000 members. And by 2017, one of our projects in Christchurch, New Zealand, MCM Hotel was officiated. And in the same year also, MCM was appointed as SDG Council members. 2018, we actually grew to 2,500 members. And by 2018 also, our projects under management achieved to more than USD 10 billion US dollar. Today, 2019, we have more than 5,000 members. So these are the milestones that I can share with you, MCM, that has kept me excited all the while. And I realized that actually I'm in the right platform, because this is a platform, this is a boat which is going to provide me with the right knowledge and also with the right opportunity, so that I can act on taking up risks, which I'm confident on. Next slide, please. So among the awards that I mentioned earlier on, none other than the Global Compact Award, Asia Golden Dragon Award, Midas Touch, Leadership Award from the International Finance, very quite influential finance and investment magazine here in Malaysia, and 100 most influential sustainable entrepreneur. So as you can see that these are all under MCM stride, that MCM have been working very hard to make sure that their work is of utmost quality, that people realize that they are giving value to whatever investment opportunity that they actually introduce. Next slide. So in 2016, we have the GIC launching, and it was covered with more than 60 media. So meaning to say that we are quite lucky, not only that it was introduced to the whole nation. It also introduced worldwide in the sense that it came out in all the main media, and to have 60 coverage is quite a feat for a company which just started in 2012, in fact. So congratulations again to GIC members. You're part of a growing and highly valued global community. So next slide, please. And during the launching, actually, we have the courtesy to have all these important personnel. Most importantly, we have the Royal Highness of Selangor together with us to officiate our Global Investment Club launching ceremony. And we realized that this is a very important introduction of GIC to the global community, to the people of Malaysia, to those people like you and me, so that we have the opportunity to be involved in things that we have probably heard before, but we never have the opportunity to be given a pie of investment into it. So next slide. And GIC was launched on 15 March 2016 to provide an education environment for members to grow together. Yeah, that's very true. Like I said earlier on, the best investment still at the end of the day starts with knowledge. Without knowledge, actually, we have no clues on whether that investment will be an investment, or a winning investment, whether the ROI is right for us, and how do we exit the projects and things like that. So MCM, through the GIC community, is helping us to provide this information so that at the end of the day, when we make decision, we will be making decision based on something that we know of, based on something that we are prepared with. Next slide, please.
Charles, we got another 5 more minutes. I need to speed up a little bit.
Okay. So these are our board of convenors. Some of those people who help us out when we go into any projects, then we have to do due diligence. We have to ask the right question, what the company is all about, what's the business model, and things behind an investment. So these are the group of people that would help us and provide us with the knowledge and to help us make sure that whatever that we go into will be beneficial for all the community members. Next slide. Okay, next slide. So as you go on in becoming a GIC member, you will realize that actually MCM doesn't only provide you with education, it provides you with the whole ecosystem. It provides you with the education. It also provides you with all the vehicle that allow you to actually be involved with all the missionary that is required to perform successful investment. You have PMC, project management consultancy, whereby these are the body that help us to get projects, and we have the ECF. These are the equity crowdfunding arms, which is a third party which also help us to go for projects and also to help us do the due diligence. We also have, other than that, Money Compass. Money Compass is actually what we have, like education, a digital education, and we also have a vehicle for the collection and also for the safekeeping of our funds, so that we have a reliable body to be investing our funds through Koperasi. And also we also have other forms of e-commerce, which also becoming strengthen the way that we are going to go into investment through an ecosystem that will help us to be successfully dealing with the market out there, and also to allow us, a small person like me, to allow me to also be part of the opportunity out there. Next slide, please. Okay. During the MCO, we have done more than, before the MCO, in fact, we have done more than 375 global investment seminars. However, in fact, during the MCO itself, if you see the next slide, we have done more than that. We are so lucky. In the next slide, you see we have done more than 200 global investment seminar within a short period, within the last few months, and we have more than 38,000 views. So meaning to say here, actually, MCM and also through GIC works very hard. It has gone very far, touching many lives, and also the possibility of actually getting more investors in is also there, and people are becoming more savvy through our education system, and also our ability to actually to providing information through our Zoom seminar. In fact, today I'm in Kota Kinabalu. Although there's some technical issues we had earlier on, but then again, compared to last time, Max only come here once a month. But today, we are so very lucky. Almost every week, we have 2 to 3 Zoom seminar being held. So actually, through this GIC membership, we know that actually we will not lose out. We will always be in front, and we will grow together. Next slide. So some of our investment strategy. There are 2 main investment strategy that we have in MCM. So one of the investment strategy is PILC, which is on property, which is property investment life cycle. So when you look at its property investment life cycle, this is a business strategy that actually have won the being nominated. Congratulations, nominated in the Edison Award. So what is PILC all about? So PILC is a life cycle. It comes to property. So you have opportunities in land acquisition, construction, management, renovation, refurbishment, redevelopment. What we're trying to say here, and we show here, we have projects in all these phases, in all these stages of property investment. And whether big or small, actually there's always opportunity there. And you look at this, our footprints. It's not only in Malaysia, it's also overseas, as far as United States, as far as Germany, and in Asian countries like Hong Kong, and nearer to home is like Australia. So this is one of our investment strategy, and the next investment strategy we have in the next slide is none other than, of course, the BILC, Business Investment Life Cycle. So if you look at the business investment life cycle, we can see that actually not only that we are going into startup company, we also go into growth, expansion, and mature. So these are the opportunity that I said to you earlier on. Without MCM, I don't think that I would understand and would have the opportunity to be in the private equity or more in the startup company. But these are the opportunity that I would have missed out if I have not been one of the GIC member. So you will see now with these 2 strategy, we have gone through quite a remarkable amount of projects. Mind you, those in Sally Salad, Rainforest Resort, aesthetic and spa, e-commerce, projects management consultancy, for even projector phone, and also residents. So these are the things that when you are part of the family of GIC, that you have the opportunity to be involved in. So next slide, please. So these are some of the projects that we have gone through, quite a number of projects that we have gone through. And I myself are very lucky. When I first came in, I was involved in not only low-cost ticketing startup, I was also involved in a project which I never have imagined on my own, in reload cards and also e-wallets. So these are new things, and I would believe, as a normal person, I don't think these are opportunities that we can get on our own. but we are thankful enough that through GIC, we are allowed and we are also benefiting from all these projects. Next slide, please. Okay, so some of our get together for the visitation of some of the project location and also the projects that we were involved. I'm happy to say that during my time with MCM, they have given me more confidence when they brought me to project sites, getting to know those principals who actually provide us with the opportunity to invest in their company.
Charles, we need to wrap up already.
Okay. So let's go to the next slide. Yeah, so very simple. These are the benefits of GIC members. Yeah, there are 8 benefits here. You can magnify your wealth through these proven PILC and BILC strategies. Second one is you get priority passes for various internal, external events. You stay ahead of latest global real estate market outlook. Stay current on international legal and tax-related matters. Complimentary access to diverse knowledge sharing session. Stay connected with a global network at your fingertips. Learn from the renowned board of convenors and partners. These are experts, and stay in exclusive projects reserved for members only. So these are the benefits of becoming a GIC member. So next. Next. Now, for the 7 traits of a successful investor, okay, at the end of the day, these are the 7 traits. Do not invest with emotion. Be positive. Do your homework. Do your due diligence. Manage your investment portfolio. Understand what you invest in and be responsible. Do not speculate and do not gamble. 6, willing to take calculated risks. Prepare for the worst. Don't blame anyone. Now, this is easier said than done. We all read about this, we heard about this before, but I'm very fortunate because through GIC membership, we come in a group. When you come in a group, you have people to ask, you have mentor, you have all your questions being answered to, and then you know that should there be any problem whatsoever, through the GIC club, through MCM, they will represent us. Not only to do the due diligence in the initial part, but also to help us with the documentation and also towards the end, should there be any problem or any requirement, any change of strategy or whatsoever, they will represent us. So these are the things that at the end of the day, I'm here in Kota Kinabalu. I'm involved with so many projects in all over the world. The only thing that I can think of it, I'm so lucky because all this came through GIC, all this came through by being part of the MCM organization through becoming a GIC member. So next, please.
Charles, we need to wrap up already. We are really out of time already.
Yeah. So thank you again, Suren, for reminding me. We are coming to the last.
Yeah, I think we can just wrap up with the slide. Yeah.
So for anything help desk, you can get to this number 012-285-5577. Next, and then
maybe we can go to the final one that you want to share the message.
Yes, yes. So you may want to get back to the person who invited you here today, and then to help you out, to know more about GIC. Now, coming back to opportunity in life. Now, if you look at SoftBank, if you look at Alibaba, you see here, it says here, SoftBank is still trying to find the next Alibaba. Okay. While being interviewed by Starwood Capital Group Chairman Clay, appointed to SoftBank Chief Executive Masayoshi-san, Masayoshi-san invested 20 million investment in Chinese internet conglomerate Alibaba. That 20 million become today value at 150 million. If you do your calculation, it's very simple to say that this is 7,500 times more. For every $1 you put in, it becomes $7,500. So meaning to say, if you have 1,000 put in this particular investment, An investment that I think would not be introduced to you if not that you are in a community that understand about private equity and also equity fund, then there's no way that you'll be able to be partly involved in this. So for $1,000 US, you immediately become a $7.5 billion man. So these are all that actually waiting for us. I look at it, I'm very excited because through GIC, these are the opportunities that are being opened and being provided to me. So why I want to be here is I find that a lot of people out there don't have this opportunity. My family members here, my next generation would not have this if I am not involved in some kind of body who actually already doing this. So I'm very lucky that through MCM, these are the things that we are being exposed to. And back to the EPF thing, you just imagine yourself, today you with GIC, you with MCM, these are the opportunity that's waiting for you. And still MCM is looking for this opportunity. But you look at the next slide. Can I have the next slide? You look at the next slide. This is the reality today. For a lot of people, this is what's happening. This is what's happening. Just the other day, in News Trade Times say, I met Edwin, a 71-year-old man, selling curry puff and nasi lemak in Wangsa Maju. I was gripped by what he said. Even at this age, I try to make myself useful. I don't want to put in a situation where I have to beg for money. My wife makes them in our house. I come out to sell. So these are realities today. Today, we are saying that through GIC, MCM, we are given the opportunity to be part and parcel of an opportunity of a lifetime. And we are not doing it alone. Through MCM and GIC, we are being introduced to all these opportunities. We can see darkness, what we're going through now, and light at the end of the tunnel. Whereas if we don't do anything, through our EPF that we are waiting, reduce in value, reduce in amount, we might probably be one of those person that call Edwin as in the slides today. So for me, I thank you very much to be able to share with you